you want it, and as you spin that wheel, see how it kind of looks wobbly?
Yep.
Well, you want it to be centered. You're going to form it up.
I'm going to do it in a
It doesn't
minute.
look like it's moving. Get your hands wet. That's your lubricant, because this is clay, and if you don't have that, you will feel it rub all the calluses off your hands. But you start pushing in. I push in from the side and then down from the top. And Chris, my potter, smaller woman, I see her do this. Because she has to lean way over and she really gets that shoulder into it. And as a result, she centers up real quick.
Oh, I don't think I can do this. Larry, tell us about first. You're in Northwest Oklahoma now, but you're not a Northwest Oklahoma native.
No, I'm from southeastern Oklahoma.
Okay, and so when did you join us in Northwest Oklahoma?
About 25 years ago. And came here like a lot of people for work. But I got to that point in life where I could move, and you say, where do you want to live? Do you want to live in the mountains? Do you want to live on the beach? Truth is, people in northwestern Oklahoma are great. Attitudes are great. Hear a lot of complaining, but I've lived different places, and they're good. A lot of relatives down there in southeastern Oklahoma, and I'll go visit them, but the general population just isn't as nice as up here.
I love to hear you say that because I love Northwest Oklahoma. And I grew up, I spent a lot of my childhood in Southeast Oklahoma as well. And I loved it. It's a beautiful part of the country. And I miss those trees. But I love our people here. And I believe people are what makes our community great.
That's right.
So I
And
love
they
it.
find really nice ways to say things like, you need to get that wheel spinning. Come on.
I can't do it.
Get it nice.
I just
You
can't
have
do
to
it.
scrape it back off.
I
You
think
can't.
I
Now see, look, he's got that all done.
I've already failed.
You know, see?
We're just going to move on. All right, so...
You gonna trade me?
No, I don't think I'm going to do this game. I think I'm suddenly very camera shy. So much for giving me a microphone and I'll be fine. Forget it now, y'all. Okay. So your mediums that you use, you don't just paint. You have so many different things that you do in your art. And you know my favorite one.
Selenite crystal.
I love the selenite crystal. So tell us a little bit about that. What's that mean? What's selenite? I have no idea what I'm saying.
Selenite crystal, also known as the moonstone, is native to northwestern Oklahoma. The gloss in the Gloss Mountains, that is little bits of that crystal. The old timers called it isinglass, and I'm told that the dugouts, they use panes of that as windows in their dugouts. So a lot of people are familiar with it. But because it's part of what we are here, and we view it as common, should we even see it ground up in our county roads? But it's not so usual in the rest of the country. So I've taken it and I've started to develop it, and combining it with my pottery and my painting. But yes, the selenite, I'm a watercolorist, I work in oils, I go out and I plein air paint. But I'm one of those artists, I don't like to zero in on one thing, I want to have fun with all of it. And I've got me this big old man cave going on with this studio.
Which is downtown Woodward.
Yeah, it's 715, right across from City Hall.
Yes.
Great location.
And we can come in here and play with the different forms and mediums and just learn what it's capable of doing. Now look, you've got that like a
Is that
nice little
better?
chocolate cake.
I'm going to call
Go
it
get your
chocolate cake.
East Bay cabinet out here and we'll pop that right in.
Okay, so selenite crystal is absolutely my favorite.
Yes.
I love what you do on that, and then your paintings that you do, and your paintings even are so vastly different. So you have these beautiful paintings that you've done of McDonald's, which sounds so bizarre, but they are so cool. And then there's these boys and playing in the trees with their dad or their grandpa or their uncle, or it's just the coolest thing, the way that you take so many different subjects.
Well, actually, that's all one subject. That is simply life, as I see it. Who in Woodward here hasn't been through McDonald's? Those boys you described playing are my boys. So I painted them. And Everything you see, all the paintings you see, it's something from around here. It's influenced by that, even if it goes into an abstract. Give it a few drops of water, and it starts to push that clay down, out, and up. You're over there, you're worried about what you're doing there. You know what is a terrible piece of art?
Mine.
The art you don't do.
You always say that. This is the first time I've actually done art in a long time, and ever here in your studio. Okay, so one of the things that I think is really cool about your studio is I love what you do. And we've talked about that a lot. You remind me so much of some of the things that my grandma did. But you have some other vendors here. Why is that funny?
You compared me to your grandma.
No, I compared your art style to
Okay.
And I love the art style character. Are you going to get that part out?
That's right, dear. Yes. Have you had enough to eat
My grandma
today?
never
Yes,
would have
yes.
called me dear. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you
No,
gone to
she
church
probably would
lately?
have told me to be
Yeah.
quiet. Larry, you distracted me.
That's good.
Vendors.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't just have your art here. We have art from other artists as well. So tell us a little bit about that.
My potter here is Chris Naberteal. She produces amazing pieces. It like grows from her fingers. I've created things here, and I'm going, wow, I did good. And I'll look up, and she's got this big, elaborate, whatever. But she's an amazing person. Like I say, her things are on display up there in the front. We've got a kiln here, so we can do everything with this pottery. Amanda Mead, she has classes. During rodeo, she's the one that did the bulk of the window painting downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of it, but the bulk of it. And Melody Evans, she lives down in Visay. She carries a line of chalk paints, and she gives classes, one of which will be next week, and shows you how to use them. And then I invite different artists from time to time just to do different things as time and situation permits.
Okay, so one of the things that you've been doing, I call it make and takes. I don't know if that's the right name. But you have classes here, and some are offered by you or maybe some of your other vendors as well. So like next week, I know I'm signed up to come make some kind of this will be another entertaining experience for us all, I'm sure. We're going to make something, and I'm going to take it home. So you want to tell us about some of the classes that you offer?
Well, like Melody Evans, I assume that's the class you're talking about, is going to be here, and she's going to produce, well, it's a craft, and you're making firecrackers for the 4th of July. Yes. And her paints do amazing things. Y'all will be right up there on that table. By the way, at the same time that I have another class, there will be a pottery class going on at that same time. We keep our groups low, like with the wheels. We only have 4 wheels, so small groups. She's only going to have 6 in her group. And Amanda does nice 3-dimensional wood pieces, allows people to come in and do their own things. I myself do a couple different things. If it needs to be something quick, I have ceramics, it's already formed. Those are mold type things, they're ready to be painted. So you can paint it, take it with you immediately, as to where pottery might take a couple of weeks because of its drying time. Also do birthday parties, where you can rent this space, come in, set up your presents, your cakes, all your refreshments, and I supply the art. Just about anything you want to do. Paintings, the ceramics you can paint, wide variety. We tailor that to whatever the person wants to do. What's
Off center now.
Okay, and then I'm going to start spinning it, and I'm pushing in with opposing hands, gently, 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 medium speed, getting a little bit faster, and I'm thinking about pulling it up, out, up.
There, I'm done.
That's right. Very Art Nouveau. Yeah. It's all about the flow.
Were we supposed to have a specific shape when we were finished? Okay, that's good.
Whatever.
Okay.
You see, in the shelf here, this is things different people in classes have formed. You see they've made little pots to begin with. And those pots are up there drying. It's all about the drying. You throw this in the kiln at about 2,300 degrees. If it's wet, it explodes.
Okay.
That's a good
I'm
thing about
calling
pottery.
it the game.
It's that.
Okay, so tell us how. Well, I've never had so much trouble with an interview. No, I thought this was going to be like the easiest thing ever. No. All right. So, how do people find you? Do they call you? Do they stop by? What do you want?
Either way, stop by anytime. I'm usually here from 9 to 4 daily, 715 Main, next door to Homestead, which used to be Brown Shoes. Just about everybody remembers where that was. Or they can call me on my phone, 254-4360. Either way, we'll set it up. I'm on Facebook, and like me on Facebook. I'm supposed to say that,
That's
right? And then, whenever you like somebody on there, you can see their post, and you'll see whenever all of my classes are happening. One thing I forgot to mention, because I am a painter and I've framed my own works all these years, I also have a framing studio. I can frame anything for anybody. We'll go traditional or we'll get wild and inventive, but we'll make it pop either way. Love to do that. You know what, Brian? That's what this crap like Yeah, probably what's happening in that situation is it's a balance. Not enough water burns up your hands. Too much, the clay's too soft.
Yep.
And then how much is too much? When it does that.
It does that.
Yeah. You know what I do? I say, throw that in the bucket, and I give you another one of those.
You really thought that was going to be for me.
You can, but I let it dry. And I use the scraps. I do some sculpture over there with the selenite. I use the scraps to form bases for the selenite, different things like that. I am a yellow pad type person. I sit down and I put my thoughts on pads. And one of the criteria I had for opening this up here was I had to have fun.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize about art and the creation of it. Not everything you're doing is going to be a masterpiece. The first time I tried this, it did exactly what you did. It just went flop, 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 but mine landed in the floor. Yeah, because you think, I'm going to speed that wheel up, and no, it didn't work. But then you learn little by little, and you have fun, and you laugh, and you hear stories, and you get to know other people. We are here in this Corona area right now, and the nature of the wheels there is it keeps you separated, but you can still look and talk to people. I will eventually add another couple of wheels, but right now I just have the 4.
A few years ago, when you taught school, one of my favorite things of your teaching were your cartoons. And I don't know if you had the daily bit. I saw quite a few cartoons that depicted the life of middle school as a teacher or a student even.
Yeah.
And I loved that. I mean, it was real, and some of it was, some of it's a sad, harsh reality, and then some of it was absolutely humorous, and it was awesome. I loved it. I love the way that you share life in your art.
Well, thank you. And I'm glad you mentioned that. I wanted to mention about teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers should be admired, but never pitied. Because if they're doing that, they are doing it because that is their passion.
Yes.
It is difficult. You learn how to juggle the needs of the students, the demands of the administration and the parents, and somewhere in all of that, your kids learn something. And who can't think about a teacher that they had in school that meant something to them? So yes, admire those teachers. They are great. My eyes were open because, silly me, I went in there thinking it would be like it was whenever I was in school way back in the 60s. And it is nothing like it was all those years ago. The buildings might be the same, but that's it. So, you like your bowl there?
It's not a bowl, it's a piece of art.
Yes.
Here's the I just got to my failure faster.
It's not a fail. Ouch!
Oh, you mentioned that. Sorry. I
don't know what to do with the side that won't snip, so I thought I would help it, but I'm not helping it at all.
I recommend you fold it back over, reform it into that. You don't have a lot of water on that.
Like this again?
Redo it. This is just clay.
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't spoil.
Okay.
Part of this is your expectation. Did you go into this knowing what it was you wanted it to look like?
Oh, heck no. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, I want it to be this big face with a hand on the side of it.
That's what Chris did. And I think it took her quite a while there. Mine, you see this is lopsided here right now?
Yep.
But I know that I'm going to use this piece to paint the slip upon. It's more like a canvas for me, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm giving myself that break. I'm going to see if I can...
That's my favorite lesson from 40 is things aren't perfect.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're not. Anybody that said they were?
No, but they sure are fun. Funny. I think I liked it better a while ago.
You want to try another lump?
No. No, thank you.
Broke it again.
Yeah, but what did you learn from that?
I keep breaking things.
You don't know your own strength.
I can break wet clay.
This is a gravy bowl.
Okay.
Oh no.
I know in high school we made lots of ashtrays.
Yeah. Now that's not politically correct, is it?
That's
No ashtrays. I am pulling clay away from the bottom. I'm giving this piece a foot. Make it look more finished. Just pulling that excess clay off. What will happen with this piece is it's super wet right now. I will give it this rough form, smooth it as much as possible. But it will go on the shelf probably for about a week because it has to dry, bone dry, before I stick it in the kiln. The kiln heats up to 2,300 degrees, which means if there's a pocket of wet inside there, it explodes, it's ruined. But just before I put it in the kiln, I will come back, slap this on the wheel here, and I will get rid of any really rough edges. I'm kind of getting rid of the big parts right now.
Oh, boogers.
There she is again. Gosh, this girl's got a potty mouth. You need a square jar.
I need one.
Here it is.
Then I look at it and go, well, oh.
Boogers?
Yep.
Yeah. This one right here is just a representation of life. That has imperfections, but if you just tip it a little bit, you can still use it to hold water.
See these little bit of pieces right here? Person last Tuesday night did those, and she started out with a big lump like you.
So that makes sweet. Now I'm all the way back down to the plate.
Not to say you aren't good, but she's actually pretty good.
Look at
She's
that.
just having it off.
Boy, he's really picking on you, and you didn't even call him Grandma.
Told you gotta have fun
I'll
here.
tell you this, Grandma would be real disappointed with me right now.
Yeah.
Yep, look at that.
The fluted top that I gave this right here is something that Chris taught me. Because I have uneven sides, the
Yeah.
fluting helps disguise that. And I just formed it. Right now, I'm somewhat pleased with this. I can think, I could do better, but as I say,
Next
these are my first pieces. And I'm in here all day. I can do this whenever I want. Admittedly, though, my go-to is to go over there and do a painting. Arts are cool. It's a solace, a place you can go to when life is a little bit bitter.
That's a ball plate.
to square one.
Nope. I'm done.
Thank you, Larry, for just coming in and make our magnificent pots.
Well, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you coming down.
Yes, this will be a fun experience for anybody. I mean,
It's
this
fun.
is great.
It's
I
very
thought
fun.
about work and it's 27 minutes. This takes all of my focus.
Which is a miracle. Okay,
This
one
is
more
great.
time. Please tell us again your location and your phone number and your web address and all that kind of stuff.